Yeah, there it is. All right. That was I never get the all right, never mind. Let me push the pod real quick. Da, 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 da.
Oh, good. I got another spam Snapchat ad.
Good.
That's great. Just like, random accounts that aren't by real people send me links. I'm like,
That's
no, I
awesome.
don't really want to. I don't. We're
That's the
playing the
best.
Orlando Magic, right, tonight, the Phillies. Top of the
Jeez.
morning. Top of the morning.
I mean, I get like, should we just get it rolling? Like we're supposed to have a third in here right now, but
Yeah, I don't know. What time
don't
is
know
it?
where we're at.
How many people we
9:15.
got here? 4 people. We have 4 people. Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, let's go.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Philly.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Philadelphia. Welcome back once again to yet another edition of the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. As always, my name is Ryan Conway, and joining me here is my illustrious co-host and wartime consigliere, Sam Glavin. And of course, we have the man himself behind the glass, Seamus G, cooking up the highlights behind the glass, just producing the show in a spectacular fashion. Oh, every single time we do it, the man is pulling out new tricks, whether it's the highlights or the episodes. Unlike the Eagles offense this Sunday, Seamus G always has a new trick. But with that said, Sam, we could talk a little bit. We were going to have Kyle from Everything's Fine at Kyle's Fine on the show. We haven't heard from him in a little bit, but we still want to go live. So we'll kind of, stay in a holding pattern from there. But, we got a show we got to do, and we got a game we got to talk about, Sam. The Philadelphia Eagles lost. What was the score? It was such a weird 17-11. That's not a normal score line. And it wasn't really a normal game either, because the Eagles were so dominant in the first half, at least moving the football down the field at will. But in terms of punching it in the end zone, you said last night when we were texting, they just couldn't get it done. They just couldn't get it done in the slightest.
Yeah, I don't know really what happened. It's so weird for me to like break down this game, because when I look at it, like when I was watching, I really didn't feel like they were playing that poorly. I thought the defense was playing really, really well. And I thought the offense was like firing, but they just couldn't, once they got into the red zone, they just couldn't punch it in for some reason. Like they were getting yards very consistently. Jalen Hurts looked okay. Like obviously didn't look as good as last week, nor did anybody else in the offense, but
right.
It was so weird. And I think part of it was because that the 49ers held onto the ball for the entirety of the game. Like they had the time of possession just out the ass. Like it was crazy. And I know, well, just quick caveat. My voice sounds like dog water right now. So everybody can just bear with me. That would be ideal. I don't normally sound like this. I sound like I
just let it get real low. Just let it get real low. Just let it get gravelly and just ride it out. Sam met Jesus this weekend.
I did. No, I don't have COVID. I actually just got a test and it was negative. And I just got random. So Dickinson's doing like a randomly selected testing process now because there were so many people here for homecoming weekend. And obviously they can't keep track of like who's vaccinated and who's not. So I then just got picked for another test. I was like, why? Like I just had a negative test. Whatever. The school is weird. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Speaking of COVID, Sam, Zach Ertz, a non-factor from this Sunday's game, is on the COVID list.
That's awesome.
I don't know for how long, but he's there. And it's not like if he misses the game on Sunday, it's not like we're not going to be able, it's not going to be a big difference from this game, because the tight ends were only targeted 4 times. And like you said, not being able to punch it into the end zone. Like that is because, Nick Sirianni flat out just didn't really have that play calling creativity. It wasn't like the Falcons game where it would just kind of take what they give you on the outside and then maybe once or twice look for a deep ball. Like he was trying to air it out with Jalen a lot. I think you might have seen Vic's tweet about how banged up the Niners secondary was. And he was like, oh, maybe I could throw it deep on these guys. And it didn't really work out. And then when we got into the red zone, I don't know why they're not looking more at Dallas Goedert or Zach Ertz, 2 of the best tight ends in the league. That's just a fact. 2 of the best tight ends in the league in the red zone. I mean, I get Devontae Smith. I get trying to, run the ball with Miles Sanders or Kenneth Gainwell because they've had success. But it was kind of weird that we didn't see what's normally a big part of this Eagles offense. I know it's a new coaching staff and a new system and everything, but those tight ends were so much more used to seeing those tight ends feature a lot more. And I feel like that definitely has something to do with the lack of productivity in the red zone.
Well, historically, we're just a huge tight end team. I mean, for as long as I've been a fan, we've always had a phenomenal tight end. It started out with Brent Selleck, and then it evolved into Zach Ertz. And then when Zach Ertz kind of started crapping the bed due to old age, then we got Dallas Goedert, and he's been phenomenal. So we've always had great tight ends. I don't know why they weren't utilized in a game like that, because I don't think that the 49ers would have had anybody really good to cover them, because their defensive backs were good, but I didn't think their linebackers were all that great. I mean, so I don't know why they weren't utilized a little bit more. But yeah, like you were saying, the Nick Sirianni play calling was just so weird. I thought he called a really, really great game last week against the Falcons. And just it was a completely new playbook this week. I didn't see hardly any of the same screen passes or anything like that. Maybe that was on purpose. Maybe they didn't want to go back to that because they knew that the 49ers had game film on it or something like that. But I feel like they just shot themselves in the feet there. It was weird.
No, yeah, it was definitely weird, because here's the thing. I love the idea of, working in a deep shot when you can. Jalen can do it. We saw it on that 91-yard, very, very near touchdown pass to Quez Watkins along the right sideline. From what? We started on our on our 2-yard line. Jalen Hurts airs it out 40 yards, hits him in stride. Like, that's something that he can do, but those just weren't materializing. Either Jalen wasn't throwing it far enough or he wasn't throwing it early enough. And then, so we were trying to do that, or we were trying to run the ball, which we just couldn't do because San Francisco's front seven is incredible. And also, we saw Brandon Brooks go out with a pec injury. So that offensive line, I mean, no hate to Landon Dickerson, but I mean, he's just coming off an injury, trying to replace, the one of the premier right guards in the league at that position. So that definitely didn't help our case when we were trying to move the ball down the field in the second half.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Miles Sanders, it was tough to, as good as Miles Sanders is, I mean, he made the best of a bad situation there for a while. I mean, there were a couple times where he was stuffed, but I mean, you can't really blame the running back for that most times. But the times that he did get out into the open, he was making plays. He looked really good. And Jalen Hurts also looked really good with his legs. I mean, when he would just roll out and when he didn't have an option, the field was open, he just took off for a couple first downs. That was good to see that he's still comfortable being what he is, which is a mobile quarterback, and they're not trying to force, and the coaching staff isn't trying to force him to be anything that he's not, so because he's just straight up not a pocket passer. He's not. So they're not forcing him to stay in the pocket and so letting him kind of do his thing out there, which is good, I guess. But I don't know. They just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, it was difficult. I will say this about Jalen coming out of the pocket. I do think that he has those tools and he has the arm to be a pocket passer, but he's just so dynamic. Why wouldn't you take advantage of moving him around like that at the same time? Also, he still does have those. I mean, Jack was saying it in the chat last night. He's got still some college football rookie mistakes. Not so much mistakes, being just a half second too late on reads, not getting the ball out quite quick enough. So you're definitely right with that. There's still some development that needs to be done, but he's a second-year quarterback in the NFL. Teams have tape on him after last week. But, he still tore it up on the ground at like 80-plus yards rushing. He had like 190 passing yards. That didn't.
Yeah, he had 82 yards on 10 carries rushing and a touchdown. So that was those are his rushing stats, not on his passing stats. He definitely was over 150 at some point, or he was like 180 or something like that. And there it is, Seamus G, the beast. 190 yards passing, 82 yards rushing on 10 attempts, 1 rush TD, 62.1 QBR, and 52% completion rating. That's what's not going to get it done, is the completion rating right there. That's never going to win you games. So he's got to be a little bit better. He's got to be a little bit better there, but nothing that you can't iron out with a young quarterback like Jalen Hurts. And like you said, we bring up the intangibles every episode. That's what he's got. He's a hard-nosed grinder, and he's going to figure it out. So
No, absolutely. Like, this was definitely just a tough game for him against a really elite front seven, and with receivers that really couldn't get open, and he wasn't really put in place to succeed. I mean, you take a look at the stats, like you said, that 52.2% completion percentage is not going to get it done. It's not going to work. And you take a look at his passing yard total right here, 190 yards. 91 yards of that was that deep ball to Quez Watkins. So you take that away. He's got 99 passing yards on 11 of 22, which is 50 flat, which is obviously, that's not fair. You don't just, it happened. He did throw for that, but it still shows that outside of that one play, we really couldn't get it done in the air or on the ground. I mean, we didn't have a receiver have over 25 yards outside of Quez Watkins. Not a single receiver. I don't think a pass catcher in general.
No, I've got that pulled up right now. So if you take away Quez Watkins, Dallas Goedert had 2 catches for 24 yards. Kenneth Gainwell had 2 catches for 18 yards. Devontae Smith had 2 catches for 16 yards. Zach Ertz, 1 catch for 6. Rager, 2 catches for 5. Like, what the hell? And Miles Sanders, 1 catch for 4 yards. So that's pretty brutal. That's never going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. So
the scheme was just not anything to write home about. And honestly, the same goes for the defense, but we're going to get the defense in a little bit, but just Nick Sirianni's play calling was, it didn't put the team in a position to succeed at all. After that Quez Watkins near touchdown, 91 yards, we're down in the red zone within 10 yards of the end zone. And what happened? We get 7 tries to put it in the end zone. We had 7 tries and we couldn't do it.
Yep. It was brutal. There were a lot of penalties that pushed us back outside. I think one time we got close to the 20-yard line, so we almost got pushed out of the red zone just because of penalties there. And they couldn't even. Then they went for it. Didn't they go for it or something?
Yeah, they went with that Philly special knockoff with Greg Ward,
gosh,
who then threw it away.
That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god,
threw it away on 4th. Like, I get, like, people say he could have ran it in. I'm like, these are NFL defenders. They probably would have recognized when he tucked and ran and obliterated him before he got to the goal line. I'm not saying he shouldn't have still tried, but like, that's just I still don't think he would have scored, but like, that's still the play that you make. You don't just throw the ball away. At least make Jalen try and get the football, like, or at least give him an opportunity to try and make a play.
Yeah, I mean, you're going for it on 4th down. Like, who cares? Like, it's going to be a turnover anyways. Like, at least try let your receiver make a play. If it gets picked off, then whatever. Like, it's a turnover anyways. Right. Like, it's going to be a turnover on downs anyways. So, yeah, weird. I hated
that was very frustrating. That was so bad. Because what was so funny was I was sitting there watching with my dad, and the first 3 downs occur, or at least those 3 before that 4th down, and he's like, "All right, we're going to need something a little more creative, Nick." And then he runs the Philly special knockoff. And Greg's like, I didn't mean that creative. I didn't really mean that. I just thought more maybe a play action or like
something normally creative, something within the realms of reason, not like
that.
What in the world was that? And it looked like the defense was sitting on it too. Like, maybe they saw it in some kind of, I don't know, but it was. Wait. It was bad.
Which is worse? The Doug Peterson called fake field goal at the end of the second quarter against Minnesota in 2018, or that Philly special play on 4th and goal? What's worse?
It's got to be the Philly special.
It's got to be the Philly special play?
I mean, yeah, because you didn't get any points the rest, like, that you gave up 3 right there. You gave up 3 points, right? And then that would have made it at the end, I guess at the end of the game, it would have been 17-11 or 17-14 then. And then, I mean, it changes the whole prospect of the game,
Mm-hmm. And Jake Elliott gave away 3 points. Look at that, kicking a line drive. Exactly. It was like he was trying to hit like one of the linemen in the ass with it. Like, I don't even think the D lineman jumped. He did. It was a little high. This is hyperbole, but still, it was not high enough at all. And Jack said it as well. And Jack knows more about the technical aspects of football than I do. So he's an X's and O's kind of guy. And he's like, Jake's got to kick that higher. And I can also be really biased against Jake Elliott, as you know. I hate him. He's making $4 or $5 million this year to kick. To have, I don't know what the hell was.
They're watching. My roommates are watching the Monday Night Football game right now. In the
shit! It's Monday. Oh my god! Yeah. Wow, this has been a long day.
Yeah, indeed. Now, I don't think that you have to be an X's and O's guy to figure out that. Yeah, Jake Elliott had to kick that one a little higher. That's just,
a little bit,
just a little. I mean,
it was.
If I was standing there, I would have gotten knocked in the face with the football. Like,
just lean in a little bit.
Just
real.
Lean in, yeah.
Yeah, dude, you'd have laces right here, imprinted on your forehead. That was just not a quality kick, and it just added insult to injury. The whole day sucked. The game sucked, and it was made worse by injuries. I mean, of course, we were missing Rodney McLeod, who definitely would have helped just with secondary rotation down the stretch, just having more bodies out there in general. But also, he's just really good. But also, Brandon Brooks went down, and then Brandon Graham, BG, had missed one game the last 10 seasons.
Yeah,
is done for the year with an Achilles injury. I saw his calf, like, kind of, how you can see it roll up in the video. I saw that.
It's like a rubber band.
I saw his like calf like move in a weird way and look kind of scrunched up, and I was like, oh, that can't be an Achilles, can it? But I wasn't going to say anything. I'm not going to try and be like the couch doctor on Twitter or texting your friends like, oh, I think that might be an Achilles. I'm like, I'll just wait to see what happens. And then I found out what happened, and I was very disappointed to find that out. But so that definitely didn't help us either in terms of them having the ball for those 8-9 minute drives. Like, well,
it was multiple 8 or 9 minute drives.
There were at least 2. They had the ball 3 times in the second half, but they had it 70% of the time. That's not the correct amount, or it could be, but they really owned us on time of possession. And part of that was we didn't have anybody that could get to the quarterback to force a quick throw or to do anything really substantial on defense. And part of that was because Brandon Graham was out, so they could run the ball all over us as much as they wanted.
Yep.
And we just didn't have the guys. And with one guy like that down on how many minute drives, the key to this defense is that defensive line rotation, is having fresh legs in there at all times. If one of those guys goes down, the whole, situation gets messed up. When they go 9 minutes and it's one of your top 2 defensive linemen, that's really gonna, the game's gonna get away from you there. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. As soon as Brandon Graham got out, it kind of got out of hand in terms of the defense. It just opened up the floodgates for the run game, and that's what it kept them holding on to the football. They were holding on to the football, kept getting first downs, and then kick a field goal or like whatever. But they held on to the ball for so much longer due to Brandon Graham not being in the game, because I don't know where Fletcher Cox was. He didn't play particularly well. I don't know what the hell happened.
I don't think he did. I don't think he did horribly. I just think there is only so much you can do. The defense gave up 17 points. It's not like that's what we averaged under Jim Schwartz. And 17 points a game as a defense is not bad at all. In fact, I think it's rather good.
Yeah.
We only gave up 2 touchdowns, right? That's the math on that. I don't know. But yes, we only gave up 2 touchdowns and a field goal. That's football. If you can do that as a defense, you should win. Granted, I would have liked the takeaway. I would have liked the sack. There were definitely some things. Thank you. Right here, 117 rushing yards, 189 passing yards. We had more passing yards than them. We had more counting stats, but they were more efficient when they had the ball. Look at Garoppolo, 22 of 30. They didn't even need to bring Trey Lance in, because they were just like, okay, we're up. We'll just hold on to the football as long as possible and still score, because run them ragged. And we couldn't get to the quarterback. We gave up 300 total yards. That's not great. But it's not, our offense could have overcome that, is what I'm trying to say.
For sure.
Okay, it's not like, the defense absolutely crushed it and only gave up like 1 touchdown. No. But
the offense needed to step up, because the defense, and that was true. It was true last week as well. The offense, there were a couple times where the defense was like really crushing it, and the offense just like couldn't put it in. Eventually, the offense last week obviously figured it out. They put up 32 points up on the board. But yeah, the offense needed to give the defense a break. They were on the field the whole game, and then they come out with these 3 and outs, and it was terrible.
It was like, and right here we got this from Stumps. I watched Cox stand up a 400-pound human with one hand and make a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. He gets double teamed almost every play. I'd be more upset with the surrounding guys getting 0 pressure with Graham being out. And I definitely, that's exactly how I feel. Fletcher Cox, he does have that sack threat. He's done it in the past, but there's only so much a guy can do when especially without Brandon Graham in there, he's now that focal point. He's who the entire offensive line, everyone is looking where he is and what he's doing. So he's still getting in there, making plays. He's just flipping guys over. He had some tackles where he just grabbed the guy and was just like, let me just put you on the ground. Like, it wasn't really like the guy had no say in the matter. And he just hugs him and placed him on the ground. I mean, you always want your star players to dominate. I wouldn't say he had a dominant performance. I definitely would agree with you there. It wasn't like a vintage Fletcher Cox performance that, we're all going to, go home and call our parents about, talk about it, on the show. I mean, we are talking about it now, but not in the way we would. But, yeah, just difficult, man. Difficult. Yeah, here's the long drives. You want to take a look at those.
I know. Yeah, long drives were tough. I mean, it was in the fourth quarter, 16 plays, 85 yards, and 9 minutes on possession. In the second quarter, they 12 plays, 97 yards, 408. Like, that's just absurd. I mean, I really don't have another explanation for it. I mean, if you do, Ryan, by all means, but like, that's not going to get it done.
No. Yeah, I got nothing, man. I got nothing. And one thing, some people, are not thrilled with Jalen Hurts' performance. I myself am not I'm not mad at him.
Yeah.
He tried hard. And that's one thing that a lot of people are saying, like, at least the team played hard. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
At least it was the bare minimum that we asked for. Awesome.
Yeah. It's a pretty Mickey Mouse answer. I mean,
it's such a Mickey Mouse answer, dude. It's such a Mickey Mouse answer.
I didn't hate Jalen's performance. Does he have to be better? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he does, but we've seen what he can do, and we said all this shit about Carson Wentz, dude.
It's really different, did. Though. That's different. Right. No, that's so different. It's different. Who is now hurt again? Did you see that?
Not one ankle, but both ankles.
Both ankles?
Both.
I'm not going to say anything further on the matter, but that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Both.
And people are going to have to start talking about, maybe apologizing to Howie Roseman a little bit. Maybe. We're not there yet. Not even apologizing. Not apologizing.
Maybe acknowledging that he did his job like a little bit.
Yeah. Because you take a look at that 2018 draft class, whenever we got Mailata.
Yeah, I don't remember what
that whole draft class hit. It was only 5 picks, but they all hit. Maddox, I mean, he's not like crazy good, but he's good.
Role player, yeah.
Mailata.
Dude, I can't believe we haven't talked about
Dallas Goedert.
I can't believe we haven't talked about Derek Barnett yet.
Well, we will.
Has to be. I mean, that was just a terrible, terrible, terrible play. Like, whatever.
We'll get into it. Well, how about we just get into it right now? Get into the Doghouse, brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Sam, since you said it, I'm gonna go first. I've got Derek Barnett in the Doghouse this week, brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. He didn't play particularly well. But then on top of that, there was a crucial play down the stretch where the Falcons fumbled a toss. Hasty fumbled it, and it went out of bounds. That would have put them further back, maybe even 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and it would have made it second or third down. Very difficult for the for the Niners to come back from. Very difficult for the Niners to come back from. Oh, no. Oh, no. Kyle's in the Doghouse.
He might be. He is
himself in the Doghouse.
That's pretty brutal. It's a tough showing or lack thereof from our boy Kyle, but that's okay.
It's all good. Hey, I mean, if you got the time, we can talk fills. If not, we'll run it back. No worries. Yeah. But Derek Barnett, Doghouse. Absolutely blows up a defenseless player right on the sideline. It not only do they keep the ball, do they not move back 10 yards? They gain 15 on that penalty.
And a first down.
That's a 25-yard swing plus a first down. Look, I'm not going to say that's the play that lost us the game because like pretty much 90% of our plays are plays that lost us the game. And we'll be honest about that. It was just a tough showing all around. But Derek Barnett, he's been in the league like 5 years now.
Yeah.
are you serious? You're a grown man now. Like, I got it when, you were a few years out of college, wanted to play fast, make a name for yourself. But now you're a veteran. Now you're an adult. Play like an adult. Use your head. Please, dear God. I just can't keep taking it. I can't keep taking it because it's not even like that wasn't even a legitimate play. It wasn't even like he was trying to make a play on the quarterback and he landed on him and put a little too much body weight. No, not at all.
It was stupid. It might be the stupidest thing I've ever seen him do.
So
really,
dumb.
Really bad.
So
it was
dumb.
Really bad. And it was on a crucial drive. Crucial. Like, they needed to get that stop in order to get the ball back and maybe put some points up on the board so that they weren't in the tight situation that they were at the end of the game. Or not as tight of a situation as they were. Like, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Shame. All right, Sam, who you got in the doghouse, buddy?
I've got Nick Sirianni in the doghouse. A rather quick appearance from our new head coach, week 2, making it into the doghouse. I just really was very upset with the play calls. I mean, and I'm more upset because he was so good last week, or at least maybe the Falcons made him look good last week. I'm not really sure which it is, but regardless, he called a good game last week. He was taking what the Falcons were giving him, and he just had no creativity whatsoever in this game. It was bad. All the red zone, I hated every single red zone call. Hated it. There was no play that I liked when they were in the red zone. So that's not going to get it done. And there were times where he handed the ball off to Miles like 4 times in a row after he gotten stuffed at the line. I'm like, hey, hey Nick, maybe it's not working right now. Maybe try and put some air in the ball, like we have some receivers that can make some plays and can get yards downfield if our line for some reason isn't working out too well. Like, it wasn't really that complicated. I really did not think the 49ers were that good. People are saying, oh yeah, 49ers are a good football team. That they were a beatable football team today, or at least on Sunday they were. And
yes,
Nick Sirianni totally fumbled the bag there.
Mm-hmm. I will say this is against one of the premier front sevens in the NFL.
Sure.
So that's tough. Rookie head coach, it's tough. But it's like we held them to 17. Kyle Shanahan's supposedly this offensive genius. They've got a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, or at least I thought they did. Brandon Ayuk not really doing anything. But yeah, Nick Sirianni could have done a lot more, could have been a lot better, and he just wasn't. And it hurt, especially because did he spend more time pandering than actually preparing for the game? That's my question. How much time did he spend on the Rush Order Tees website? How much time did he spend on Kyle's Etsy store looking for some admittedly sick t-shirts? But it's just like a little pretty brutal.
I'm really upset by that. It was a very frustrating game to watch because I knew that they could have won that game. And I would say it was pretty much, obviously the offense has to do better, but I'm putting this one pretty much on the back of Nick Sirianni because he's got to be better. And he took ownership. He did in the press conference. He was like, I sucked today. Should have called better plays. That's on me. I was like, all right, fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to linger on it. It's just Nick Sirianni has to go to the doghouse. And it's only a weekly thing. It's fine.
Exactly.
You can get out.
And you can get out.
I'm sure you will.
Just don't give us any more reason to keep you in there.
Yeah. You might end up with the likes of Clentak or something.
Oh God. Lifetime appointees. Chip Kelly. He's got the penthouse suite in the doghouse. He's vibing out up there. Now I'll tell you this, Sam. That was great. That was a great little segment there we just did. The Doghouse. Brought to you by Wide Plank Floor Supply. Visit their website at www.wideplankfloorsupply.com. Get a recommendation for a contractor. Get a quote. Wide Plank Floor Supply. If it's wide, they've got it. Go check out their showroom warehouse out in KOP, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. They're going to hook you up, guys. They're going to have quality wood for quality prices, and they're going to get guys and gals that know how to install it. They're going to do it all for you. So just get out there. Give them a call. Wide Plank Floor Supply. Sam, we're going to move away from this past Sunday. That was a traumatic experience. We've got to look forward. We must, Sam. We must soldier on. 7 days from now, we are taking on the Dallas Cowboys.
True.
In Dallas, week 3, Monday Night Football, prime time. I'll tell you this. Last year's Eagles, 3 of our 4 wins were in prime time.
Uh-huh.
This is a prime time team with prime time players. Do you think we get it done on the road against a division rival that just beat that hung tough with Tampa Bay, still lost, but then beat a tough team and a solid defense in the Chargers this past weekend in a grinder, in a style that I thought we would have beat the Niners?
I agree. You're very right about that. That's exactly how I thought we would have beat the 49ers. Is like maybe on like a last minute field goal or something like that. But we didn't. And the Cowboys beat the Chargers, and they looked pretty decent all game. Dak Prescott looked like shit, which is good for us. He just sucks. Like I don't understand. I just don't understand how people can get behind Dak Prescott. I just don't. And people, oh my God, Ryan, somebody told me today, or oh my gosh, Ryan, I can't believe I haven't talked to you about this yet. So I'm going to give it to you live on the air.
Oh, yeah?
Somebody told me that Jalen Hurts is literally Dak Prescott, but younger. And I said, have you watched football in the last year or so? Like, have you turned on Fox like to watch some football at all? Because you would know that Jalen Hurts is nothing like Dak Prescott. Jalen Hurts, as we like to say, has those intangibles. Dak Prescott
He's got the
intangibles. Complaining about money to Jerry Jones and not getting empty stats, Dak, like putting up big numbers against shit teams and then calling himself a good quarterback, trying to get paid better than Carson Wentz at the time, which maybe we were proving them a little bit wrong on that point, but like, well, we can just move right along past that because it doesn't fit my narrative.
Let me tell you about it. I'm going to read you Dak Prescott's stats against the Chargers. 23 of 27.
Okay. Decent.
237 yards. 1 interception, sacked twice, no touchdowns.
Doesn't do it for me.
This is their God. I literally overheard the commentator say an excellent game by Dak Prescott.
In what world is that excellent? That is supremely average. So average. Like,
yeah.
Simply
average. And it's fine. Whatever. Here's the thing, man. I don't know what this team's going to look like without Brandon Brooks. Not Brandon Brooks. I've known what this team looks like without Brandon Brooks for the last 2 years now. I mean, Brandon Graham. I don't know what this team's going to look like with Brandon Graham, especially when they had Tony Pollard go for 109 yards and Zeke go for like 81 or 79 or something like that. Because when they've got out 200 yards on the ground, and that's where San Fran really hurt us, you know, like it's going to be tough to defend that backfield if we don't have, you know, the personnel to do it. I think our young guys can step up. I think Josh Sweat is going to be, you know, money man, just got extended. I think he's going to be able to do something. Hopefully Derek Barnett has, you know, a return to, you know, glory, or at least,
or
you know,
or just bring his brain with him.
Just bring his brain to the,
That'd be great. I really do think
that they're going to
be, I think they're going to be fine against the run because they have a whole week of practice without Brandon Graham.
Yeah.
Because they knew right from the gun, oh crap, he's out for the season. Now we got to prepare for this week and the rest of the other weeks to play without Brandon Graham. So they got to figure it out at some point. They might as well be this week. So I'm not scared by that. I'm scared about our offense. I mean, I know the Dallas defense isn't quite up to snuff yet. They're definitely better than they were last year. Last year, they were historically bad on the defensive side of the ball. But
yes,
they've got guys like Trayvon Diggs had a sweet interception last against the Chargers. Excuse me. Who else? They picked up that kid, Micah Parsons. I think he's okay.
Picked him up right off the waiver wire.
On the draft.
I know. he's all right. He's all right. He's all right. Dude, score prediction. Go.
Crap. I can't pick the Eagles to lose against the Cowboys. It's just not
right? Like, that's insane.
Not, even if it is logical, like, I'm just not going to do it. So I'm going to go 21-17 Birds.
21-17. I'm going to go 24-21 Eagles.
Yeah.
In a hard-fought game.
Yeah.
it would have been a lot closer if Jake Elliott didn't miss 4 field goals in this hypothetical game, but we still eke out the win. That's what I think happens. And the Eagles are we're +4 against the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Seamus G's telling us Cowboys have 65% chance to win, or so the numbers say. At home, we're coming off a tough loss. Yeah, here we go. Sam's got Eagles 21, Cowboys 17. I've got Eagles 24, Cowboys 21. We'll see. Those are both really attractive score lines as well. I enjoy the So
all the night games so far in this season have been electric.
Yeah,
they've been awesome. So hopefully the Eagles and the Cowboys give us a show. Not like last year. You know that Sunday night game last year with Ben DiNucci, and
oh my god, that was like the worst.
That was literally the worst football game I've ever watched in my life. It was. So
Didn't we
bad.
Still lose?
Yeah.
Or awesome. Fuck yeah. Man. So I think that'll do it for the Birds. Sam, we got a pennant race going on right now, and it's like tighter than expected. We literally said last episode on Wednesday. This was a short turnaround, by the way. We're on a short week. We do not load manage here at the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. We do not load manage. We play all 82, regardless of the scheduling. We just go out and we hustle. That said, short week. We said on Wednesday, Phils are out.
Yeah.
We agreed that we should just not give up on the season, but give up on the season. It's over. No, not at all. We're playing the Orioles right now. They were losing last I checked. Let me just double check that. Yeah, still losing 2-0 in the top of the 9th.
Ooh, that's good.
That's good. Awesome. Yeah, so that's it. So things might get a little interesting. So we're going to talk assuming that we've lost this game. Seamus G, do you think we could get the Phillies Orioles schedule up or the remainder of the Phillies schedule up? Just because I want to see something here. I just want to see their path to the end of the season.
Yeah, Ryan, I got to tell you, dude, I am still kind of out on the Phillies winning this pennant. I don't think they're going to get it done. I mean, what are they? They're 2 games out right now. That means they have to still rely on other teams to lose, whether that be in the wild card or in the NL East with the Braves. The Braves are still in first, right? I'm pretty sure that's still.
Yeah.
And they're playing the Mets, I believe, next. I think Seamus G is going to get it up for us too, but I think they're playing the Mets after the Orioles, which should be wins. So, no, they're not. They just played the Mets, right? They're coming off playing the Mets. So
they dropped that game last night.
Okay, so they've got like 2 of the worst teams in baseball for 7 games, and we're losing to one of them right now, which is awesome.
Of course we are.
We've got a 4-game set against Pittsburgh, and they are terrible. So they have to go. They basically have to win out. Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to win out, and they're not going to do it. So I'm out. Dude, I'm out on the Phillies. And if they go ahead and surprise me, fine. But they're not going to get it done. Not as long as Bryce Harper is just the only guy hitting baseballs. That's not how it works.
It's so disappointing because, I take a look at this. If I'm any other team that's in the hunt for a division title this year, I take a look at this schedule and I go, oh yeah, this is a fucking cakewalk. No question, we're gonna be able to get this done. With the Phillies, I honestly wish we were playing better teams down the stretch. I wish we didn't have such an easy schedule because we've talked about it a million times. Who they're playing doesn't matter. Yeah. How far away they are from 500 and in which direction is dictates how they play.
It's bad. I mean, and then the crucial, we haven't even talked. So, that's those 7 games right there, including the one tonight, are the 2 worst teams in baseball. But then we go right in to Atlanta.
Yes.
Who we are battling for the NL East right now, and we're only 2 games back. So that is basically playoff baseball right there. So that's going to determine whether or not they're in or they're out, is that series right there. And if they do get in, it's going to determine, how well they play in the playoffs, because the Atlanta Braves are a good baseball team.
Yeah.
And then Miami, we're just going to lose all 3 of those to Miami, so we might as well just count them out. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm done.
We're done. We're done. Yeah, I'm not confident because we are 76 and 73, which tells me we're going to lose tonight. 76 and 74, we're going to get swept by the Orioles.
Awesome.
We're going to drop 1 to the Pirates. And then win 3, and then we're just gonna kind of then we're gonna sweep the Braves, and then we're gonna get swept by the Marlins. So then we're going to still end up around 500, 1 or 2 games under or over. That's what's going to happen. We're not going to go on a streak. Are you shitting me?
Nope.
We might go loss, win, loss, just 50-50 down the street. We might just go dead ass 500. That's what this team, that's the only thing that they really give me faith in them to do.
Yep.
And it's horrible because, I mean, Bryce Harper, he's trying to do everything he can for this team, and he really is doing everything he can. He's the new betting favorite for the NL MVP. But with that said, I mean, there's only so much one man can do. There's 9 people. He's at the plate 3 to 5 times a game, depending on the score. Fuck.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
And I'm getting word from Seamus G right now that he just Bryce Harper just flew out in the top of the 9th there. So we're gonna lose this game. That's awesome. We were already going off of that anyways. So I mean, I'm done with the Phillies, and I don't know the pitching. So the pitching is okay. We're coming up on a bullpen game. I know that the Suarez is gonna be up tonight, or he was, and then we're gonna have a I guess Nola or somebody or Wheeler. Stuff like that. So we'll get a couple wins here and there, but I know it's so exhausting.
It is
the Phillies, because this is the worst kind of pennant race. This isn't an exciting pennant race.
No,
they're not a good team. They're a bad team in a pennant race right now in a bad division, and I'm out. This is the worst. I would have.
Why couldn't the Braves have just stomped us out earlier in this? What's been their deal? They went on a 20-game streak where they couldn't string 2 wins together. It was win loss 500 over 20 games at one point. Why couldn't they just do anything to just get this out of reach so I could just stop giving a shit about baseball until I'll probably watch the ALCS and LCS.
I'll watch playoff baseball.
Yeah, I'll watch some playoff baseball, but I'm not gonna be glued to my television set when I know that every time the Phillies go 3 games over 500, they're going to lose 4 in a row. I'm tired of 162 games, a 2-step forward, 3 steps back. And that's what the Phillies do. Every season now they've done it.
Yeah. And if by some miracle that they do make the playoffs, they're going to get blown out in the first round.
Oh my God. It's going to be horrible.
It's going to be terrible. Horrible. It's going to leave a sour taste in my mouth. And people are going to be like, at least they made the playoffs. Well, they didn't deserve to make the playoffs, so it doesn't even fucking matter.
No, yeah. What? We losing a wild card game? No, not a wild card game. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how the playoffs work.
No, if they win the division, then they're in the divisional.
Okay, that's good.
But the wild card race, I guess they're 3.5 games back in. So if they end up being in the top 2 there, then they play in a wild card game. But that's
so funny that we're closer to the division, or at least we were, than the wild card.
Yeah, it says a lot about the division.
I love the 100 win Dodgers being a wild card because of Gabe Kapler.
I refuse to talk about that. So whatever you got left on the thing about the Phillies, we can talk about. But I am not talking about Gabe Kapler making the playoffs.
No.
Or potentially being manager of the year, because he's literally going to be manager of the year for the NL.
Why wouldn't he be?
He could be manager if there was a comeback manager of the year as well. He'd win both. He'd win the fucking award itself, and then the comeback manager of the year, which is just the dumbest thing. But
dude, just Joe Girardi sucks.
It's not Girardi. I mean, it is a little bit
too.
It is a little bit Girardi.
Everyone sucks. Is the problem?
It always goes back to the front office, Ryan. Look at a guy like Gabe Kapler, right? Maybe wasn't the right answer here. Went to a place where there is a competent front office and a competent organization that has been playoff ready for the last 10 years. There was a point where they went to the World Series 3 out of those 5 out of a 5-year and won. So the front office is doing something right. And then when they were bad, they got back up on their feet and had a winning season the next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a 5-year stretch where every time it was an even year, we were okay, the Giants are going to win. It's just and then they suck, and then they're good again. This, it's so baffling to look at other teams. I was watching Chiefs Ravens last night, and I'm that's football. That's what football is. After watching whatever the fuck we watched on Sunday, I'm that. I feel the same way when I watch good baseball teams play. Like I watch the Rays play, and I'm like, wow, these guys are playing baseball. This is amazing. Like
baseball's a pretty cool sport when it's a good team to watch.
They're
right?
the 5th highest payroll in the league. We're like the 17th best team.
Yep.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what? Why can't we find anybody that can play baseball?
It's
why?
I'm telling you, it's the front office and the player development and the player the drafting. It's awful. All of it's bad. They need to clean house and I hate to say it because we literally have Bryce Harper in his best season ever. And we have prime Bryce Harper right now, and we're not going to make the playoffs. And if we do make the playoffs, we get swept right out of the first round.
Yeah.
So everything's great. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Kyle. That's a howler.
A howler alert. Oh, this is a new thing that we're doing. Phillies just lost 2-0 to the Orioles. So that's great.
That's incredible.
Yep, that's awesome. Baltimore had a pretty fucking good weekend, I would say.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Fuck.
I'm done. I don't want to do this
done.
anymore.
I'm done too.
All right.
Cool. Do you want to do like the sign off?
Yeah, I guess we can do that.
We don't have to.
It's usually what I do. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been the Wolves of Broad Street podcast. My name's Sam Glavin. Follow me at SamGlavin06. And of course, my wartime. What was that? My wartime consigliere at Ryan Conway 76. Big shouts to Seamus G. At Shamelessly SG on Twitter, pulling the strings behind the glass. Buy a t-shirt or a sweatshirt like this one. I love this sweatshirt. It's pretty cool. On thelibertyline.com. Big shouts to at the Liberty Line PHL on Twitter and on Twitch as well. Follow us on at Wolves Abroad ST on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And the Wolves of Broad Street on YouTube. Seamus G. Close us down, bud.